morning, third grade, and this is a recording of the class we did today with an explanation of some of the activities, okay? So, first of all, we started with a little bit of a stretch. So, if you are watching this and you would like to follow along, that's perfect. We call this puppy yoga, and basically we try to get up from our computer screen and just do exactly what the puppy is doing on the screen. So I'm gonna disappear from the screen, but I'm like stretching just like that puppy. Stretch one way, take a deep breath. Stretch the other way, take a deep breath. Let's do it 3 times, okay? So try to do this 3 times. And hopefully it will make you feel a little better. So the number one thing we did today was we kept on working on the lines and scribbles. And we looked at the fact that when we unravel our scribbles, we discovered that we have a line. And a line is something very special in the art world because it's kind of one of those elements that you cannot work without. So one of the basic elements to use in any art creation is going to be line. And I really enjoyed the definition that Paul Klee, famous artist, gave for line, and it's a dot that went for a walk, which makes so much sense. So lines have some qualities that are important to remember, and one of those qualities is that lines can be straight, and those are called geometric lines. They can make angles, they can make square shapes and things like that. Those are the straight kind of lines. And then you have the curved lines, and those curved lines are organic because we find them a lot more in nature. So when you look at a leaf, when you look at flowers, when you look at a person's face, those are organics. We use a lot more curvy lines. But another really important fact about lines is that they can tell us about emotions. So let's take a look at emotions and lines. When you look at this line, what does it feel like? So in order to kind of feel what the line makes you feel, is you have to pretend to be the line. So if you were this line stretching all the way up and down, think about what you're feeling right now. What does this type of line make you feel like? And how about when you go on a horizontal line? And for the horizontal line, you're going to have to go on the floor and get like really flat. So when you're flat and steady, what does that feel like? Do you feel like super active? Do you feel grounded? Do you feel restful? What are the emotions that these lines make you think of? This one kind of reminds me of the puppy, all right? And it's kind of like, so you can even go this, or you can go the other way and stretch your back. So how does this line make you feel if you were to pretend to be this line? This one for me, it totally reminded me of a superhero pose. So I feel like I'm flying. So try it and tell me, how do you feel? And the last one, I'm not really that flexible, but we kind of did this last class. So if you were to turn into this line, what would you feel like? So it's interesting to think that lines actually makes us feel different things. So let me show you what we are going to do now. Alright, so try to follow along with what I do with my pencil, and I'm going to start at the bottom of my paper and I create a curved line, then a straight and curve again. This is going to be fast in the beginning, okay, but it's just to show you what the continuous line will be doing and how my pencil never leaves the paper, okay? So it's important that your pencil does not leave the paper. Don't worry about an eraser. Erasers are not necessary. It doesn't have to look perfect. But what we are drawing today using this is a flower. This is kind of a flower from my imagination. All right. Once I have done that line, that continuous line is very kind of boring. So I tend to add some areas of interest by creating thicker lines here and there. So I want you to take a look at how I did this. I did it super quickly. I don't want you to do it quickly. We're going to repeat these again. And I'm going to slow down the video so you can actually do this. Again, if the video goes too fast, just stop, pause the video, and just do your drawing. So for this one, you're drawing right along with me, okay? So pause when you need to. If my hands is on the way, just stop and try to follow exactly the lines I'm doing. Work. You are going to do what I call independent continuous line drawing. You're going to find a simple object. Don't try to do animals. They tend to move too much. It's really hard. Just recreate it using one line without moving your pencil from the paper. It might look like a scramble and a scribble. That's okay. Maybe you do it a couple times until it looks kind of the way you want it. If it doesn't look perfect, that is fine. That's why we love scribbles. Maybe choose a different one. It's all good. What I want you to think about is how many times do you have to draw it until it looks the way you want it? Was it really hard? What was the hardest part? Was it feel like absolutely irresistible for you to lift the pencil from the paper? Or how about erasing? What are your emotions of doing something like this? I know this is pretty difficult, so just make sure, don't worry about it if it doesn't look perfect. That is not the purpose of this assignment. Enjoy, all right? And I will see you next class.